Welcome to the Positive Sports Podcast. I'll be your host this evening, Ed Montana. Alongside me today...
What's up, my brother?
When are you going to do the show without a hat? Alongside me today,
Never.
my hat-wearing brother, Alex. Alex, how you doing?
Listen, I can't wait till... I'm doing great, by the way. Thank you very much. I can't wait till November's over. I just can't wait. Because
Why?
that freaking magic carpet rug that you have on your face needs to go.
What are you talking about? You don't like it?
No, because it's like brown. It's literally salt and pepper. Really?
No, because it's got a little bit of cinnamon in it down here in the chin. You can't really see it. It's like just a few. It's really weird. Like I've got a few strands of red down here. Dad's the same way. He's got a little bit of red, but only in his chin.
Well, I don't know. All I know is that my patches are still patches.
Your beard looks like freaking Hawaii on the map.
Yeah, Alaska's over here.
Just little islands of hair.
Cuba's over here. How do you say it? Cuba or Cuba?
I say Cuba. Cuba.
It's one of those words that you can say it either way, I guess, right? I guess it depends on what language you say it.
Yeah. Hey, just real quick. I know we're not going to talk much. We're not going to talk any baseball, but did I hear you right earlier when you said that Grandal turned down $17.9 million from the Dodgers?
You may be old, but your ears are working perfectly fine.
Bro.
17.9. $18 million.
And he turned it down. He's not
because he's worth more.
He's not worth the .9. Let alone the 17 in front of it. Holy shit.
Every time I flipped on the World Series, there was a ball being
got
by him.
He was a catastrophe for a couple of games there.
Well, it was actually mostly against the Brewers, but still.
But still, right? Like
that's a lot of money. I mean, he's not even a top-tier catcher.
Can you imagine someone offers you $17.9 million like, nah, I'm going to go check out other jobs.
I'm worth more. I'm hopping all over that, bro. Can you imagine? I can't. I probably
$17.9 million. No, I can't imagine.
That's a lot of freaking money.
That's crazy. But anyway, there's not much else going on in baseball other than silly qualifying offers. We haven't heard any big ripples as far as free agency signings. We hear all this yada about Bryce Harper and Manny Machado and blah blah blah, but no one's doing anything at this point.
What do you think about the Astros supposedly having an offer for the Nationals?
I'll tell you what was surprising about that. It wasn't surprising that they made the offer because, look, at the trade deadline, you do whatever you can. You're in the playoff hunt, right? And they knew they were in for a tough go with the Indians, Yankees, and Red Sox. But what amazed me is that, according to the source, they were very close to having a deal done, and the Astros weren't giving up much. I mean, granted, it was a rental, right? Because he's going to be a free agent at the end of the year. But still, it was Bryce Harper for peanuts. And the only reason it didn't go through, I think, is because the Nationals, not because the Nationals weren't getting enough, but because the Nationals didn't want to send Bryce Harper the message that we don't want you. They have been acting very much like they think they're going to re-sign him, which is somewhat incredible to me as well.
Yeah, I don't know that I believe that. That might be just stuff that
BS.
Boris. Yeah, Scott Boris. That's the BS right there. That's putting that out.
Yeah. Jeez.
So I don't know. You could be right though. Maybe they, the Nationals were like, no, we don't want to do the trade.
I'm amazed that the Astros offered so little and it almost happened.
Yeah, I can't see that. That's the reason why I can't believe it. So Ronald Acuna Jr. won the National League Rookie of the Year just now.
Called it.
Did you? I think we did. I think we did.
No, I did. You probably didn't.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah, if I would have called it, he wouldn't have won.
I tell you what you did call, and it's looking better and better every week.
What's that?
The Saints. Holy now that game was kind of like you're right and you're wrong.
Yes, right.
The
exactly.
Saints look unbelievable. That offense looks unstoppable.
51 points on the road.
And
in
not,
open air.
Yeah,
The
not in great conditions either.
The Saints
It was
are not
pretty
really
chilly.
known to play that well away from the from home.
And the other thing that's kind of impressive about them is it's not just the offense. Defensively, they're playing well also. But look, they've got the two-headed running attack with Ingram and Kamara. They've got Drew Brees who can sling the ball anywhere and everywhere. Offensively, they look like they can put up 50 any day of the week and twice on Sunday.
Well, the Rams had trouble keeping up with them, so...
Yeah. And then the flip side of that coin for you, although, I mean, you said the Bengals would be a sleeper team. They're still in it, but these last few weeks, they don't look nearly as impressive as they did in the first four or so weeks of the season.
Not at all.
And when you compare and contrast that with the Steelers, who look like they're really picking up momentum, this Le'Veon Bell thing is going to be over soon. Likely be over as soon as tomorrow, right? If he doesn't show up tomorrow, then he's not eligible to play, not just this week, but this season.
Yeah.
And I think that once they got to the point where they said, okay, Le'Veon's going to do Le'Veon, we don't care. Whenever he shows up back in the building, we'll worry about it. Once they took their focus off of that and they stopped talking about it, all of a sudden they improved. And, man, they look good. They beat the brakes off the Panthers.
Yeah, and I think the Steelers went into this season with that exact mindset. That didn't just happen 2-3 weeks ago. I think they went in with the mindset that he's not going to show up.
Oh, I disagree. I think those first few weeks, they very much look like a distracted football team.
Nah, maybe distracted, but I think they already went in saying, we're not expecting Bell for the rest of the season.
Maybe they said that, but I think that the constant questions and the comments and, oh, now look at what this lineman said, and, oh, but look at Le'Veon posted this. I think there was still a lot of chatter about Le'Veon early in the season that, look, football's a complex game that requires 100% dedication from 100% of the team. And when you have distractions like that, it hurts. And you can just tell over the last few weeks that they have said, no more distractions. We're gonna play football. If Le'Veon walks through those doors, we'll welcome him. But other than that, we're not gonna worry about it anymore.
Well, it certainly helped.
Yeah, I mean they look phenomenal. They beat a Panthers team that's been playing good football.
And how about that? Another dud of a game on a Thursday night. And that looked like it was gonna be I
was excited for that. Yeah, I thought that was gonna be fun.
But I think we've had one good Thursday night game so far this season. The rest have been snooze fest.
Yeah, I've been
Yeah.
What else impressed you on the weekend, NFL wise?
Tennessee beating the brakes off of the Patriots.
Yeah.
I think that, the Patriots are probably still going to be the Patriots, and they'll, they'll win the rest of the season, but still, I think, that game wasn't even close.
No. It was an impressive game by the Titans, especially when you consider they had the short week because they played on Monday in Dallas, and then they had to come back and play the early game on Sunday. Sometimes taking that one day away, the travel and all that, it kind of hurts them. But they played really well. What do you think about the media making a big deal about Malcolm Butler and all these guys? Oh, we're going to stick it to the Patriots and all this other stuff.
I like that Dion Lewis came out and said it. He said the truth. The Patriots are cheap, and he.
I love how all of these guys talk all of this smack about the Patriots, and what do the Patriots do? They just keep on winning.
Yeah, they just downplay it.
Well, they don't even downplay it. They ignore it and they keep on playing.
Well, no, they did downplay it.
But and they even asked Malcolm Butler about the comments with Belichick after the game. Belichick told him, "Good job, keep playing well. Good luck to you."
Well,
look, I don't think the Patriots are the most. The Patriots are the most cold-blooded, business-calculated team out there. Right. It's never personal. I'm sure that they love Malcolm Butler over there personally, but he didn't fit into their plans somehow. And the same thing with Dion Lewis. Somehow he just didn't fit into their plans. Whatever that plan was, be it productivity, be it character, be it dollars, whatever, I don't know. He didn't fit perfectly into their plan, so they moved on.
Well,
and they do it over and over again, and it seems to work over and over again.
Yeah, but I mean, in all honesty, Dion Lewis was a huge part of that Super Bowl win against the Falcons, and then you don't play Malcolm Butler the last Super Bowl, and you have Nick Foles throw for 500 and whatever yards. So,
I mean, who knows?
I mean, but when you look at it, the coach, Malcolm Butler, Dion Lewis, all came from the Patriots.
Yeah.
So, I guess it was a little personal for them, and well, they answered the bell.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. I find it. I'm amused. I'm amused at these guys that just get all riled up about what the Patriots do and don't do, and the Patriots just keep winning. They just keep going, and they kind of don't care what you have to say about them. They just keep chugging along.
And it was a big game for the Titans. They're trying to stay they're trying to stay close to the Texans and fight for a play. At this point now we're fighting for playoff spots. So it's not like 3-6 team went out and beat the Patriots. This was a team trying to.
That division has really gotten flipped upside down. The Colts are looking decent. Tennessee's looking pretty decent. The Texans looking, and the Jaguars have just fallen off the map.
Yeah.
What are they doing?
Jalen Ramsey, man. That's what happens when you talk all that noise at the beginning of the season, and they can't back it up now. You run up a $45,000 bar tab.
What's this?
Huh? Oh, when they were over in London.
Oh, the bar tab that they walked out on. Yeah, I mean,
the Colts are looking. They're looking okay. They're not playing
the Colts. Football. The Colts are not bad. They're not. They're at 4-5. They're only 2 games behind the Texans. So things can. They still have another game with them, so things could happen. You never know.
Breaking news: your guy.
I saw that.
Your guy has won American League Rookie of the Year. Was that your Rookie of the Year pick?
Of course.
Was it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Here's the thing. I'm glad that
I can't believe you won.
I'm glad that my pick won. But let's be fair, the only reason he won is because of the two-way thing. Because if you look at the numbers that Torres and Andujar put up, they were considerably better. Torres didn't miss any time. Andujar came in a little bit during the season. He
was pretty big during their run.
He was huge. And maybe there is a little bit of cannibalizing of votes, right? When you have 2 guys from the same team. We've talked about that before.
Yeah.
But I personally thought that Andujar should have won. 297, 27 home runs, 92 RBI. I mean that's huge.
He was playing good while the Yankees didn't have their best hitter. Yeah. Right? Judge.
Yeah. So absolutely. He kind of carried is maybe too strong of a word, but he did the lion's share of the lifting. Yeah. So
I'm kind of surprised.
I'm kind of surprised. I'm happy that Ohtani won because how could you not give it to a guy that pitches one day, hits a home run the next day?
Now you're gonna go out there and buy an Ohtani jersey?
No, because he plays for the Angels.
So
I'm not a jersey guy.
You're not. You're from New York.
I'm. That's true. I don't particularly like to wear jerseys with other people's names on them because
I've always been a jersey guy.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I like to wear jerseys, but I like to wear them with no name.
That's no fun.
No, I'm just like I have a Giants jersey with my name on it.
See that I can't do that.
Why not?
Because that player doesn't exist.
I would if they signed me.
Yeah, but you're not signed, so.
But I'm available.
You don't exist.
I'm a free agent. If they contact me. Giants, hit me up. If you want to reach us, you can reach me through the show. Email the show, positivesports10@gmail.com, positivesports10@gmail.com. If you want to send a qualifying offer to me, you can do so via Twitter @eMontana21.
17.9?
I'll take 17.9. I'll just take the 0.9. If you want to talk to my brother and tell him that you're going to make me a qualifying offer, how do they get a hold of you?
on Twitter at Brooklyn Gaucho 8.
Is that the number 8 or is that like finished eating?
Food. That would be the number 8.
You should have went with like the Brooklyn sandwich.
Yeah. The Brooklyn Gaucho sandwich.
There you go.
Yeah, you know what? Twitter, it's hard coming up with another name and kind of keeping it the same, right?
Right.
And then when, it kind of automates,
Automatically picks your handle.
Yeah, I mean, you can go in there and change it, I think, right?
I changed mine.
Yeah. I almost don't want to mess with Twitter anymore.
I said, give me my number, 21. E. Montana 21, bro. So, what were we talking about?
I have no idea. Jerseys, Rookie of the Year,
Rookie
football.
of the Year. Yeah, if I get an Angels jersey, it's going to say Montana on the back.
No.
The only time I will get a jersey with someone else's name on it is when my son goes pro. I'll get his jersey. And coincidentally, it'll have Montana on the back.
Unless he takes her name.
Oh. Or his name. I mean,
Yeah, I can't do my... Yeah, no, my jersey has to have a name. Just not my name.
I do it with just a number.
Yeah, if you have a Yankee jersey.
No, any jersey.
Nah, yeah, I can't.
My Mets jersey has no number on it. I don't need a number.
So you just cheer for the team. You cheer for the name in front of
the jersey. That's right.
Not the name on the back.
That's right. Exactly. That's what
I don't
all my
like
life.
that.
All right, so we were talking about the AFC South. Moving on, AFC West. Kansas City looking as good as ever, albeit it was against Arizona.
Yeah.
The Chargers are looking good. And then you've got Denver and the Raiders. The Raiders look like pure doo-doo.
Yeah,
they're done. The Chargers still have a shot, right? They've got a game left against the Chiefs. They're only 2 behind, I think, or
no,
one,
they're just 1 behind.
1 behind. So
they got after these next 2 games, they play Denver and another weak team. I think Arizona. Mm-hmm. And after that, it gets a little more. I think they go against the Bengals, Chiefs, Pittsburgh, Saints. So, yeah. But after these next 2 games, they got a chance of being 9-2. That could clinch
a playoff spot at least. But look, I think they're going to give the Chiefs a run for their money. The Chargers look good, and they look good on both sides of the ball.
Yeah. Well, don't take nothing away from them. I mean, they got you can say they have the same weapons on offense that the Chiefs have. I mean, they got a quarterback, a wide receiver, and a couple of wide receivers.
I'm going to disagree. I think the Chiefs have better weapons in terms of running backs, receivers, and tight end. But I think the Chargers have the better quarterback, or at least maybe not a better quarterback, a more experienced quarterback that when it starts to get tough, when it starts to get cold, when you start to build the pressure for the playoffs, I would feel more comfortable putting the ball in the hands of Phillip Rivers than I would Patrick Mahomes at this point, right? Don't get me wrong, I think Mahomes is great, but we don't know the deal yet going forward, right?
Well, I think we know a little bit.
Yeah, we do, but we don't know how he's going to handle the pressure, right?
No.
I mean, I've always found it fascinating to see quarterbacks play during the regular season and be great, and then crumble in the playoffs. Because in the playoffs, you get no break. It's good team after good team after good team. And during the season, you got to play the Patriots one week, but then you play the Cardinals the next week. So it gets a little bit easier. You know what I mean?
True.
So, Again, I love Mahomes. I think he's great. I really like the kid. But I'm not going to go all in until we see him go through a playoff run. Yeah. And then in the AFC East, I mean, it's the Patriots really and nothing else. Think about
those teams are horrible.
Think about this. Name the starting quarterbacks name the starting quarterbacks in the AFC East. Tom Brady, legend. Right?
How old is he?
41. Okay. Legend. Absolute legend. Sam Darnold, good on a shitty team, quarterback rating of 30-something. Brock Osweiler, crappy quarterback on a crappy team, quarterback rating of 30-something. And Peterman, crappy quarterback on a crappy team with a quarterback rating of 30-something. They put in Matt Barkley this week, which was an improvement for them, but he was playing against the Jets.
Yeah.
And so, it's really kind of no wonder that the Patriots are head and shoulders above. And I mean, they get 6 easy games a year, really. And I don't know what those teams are doing, but the Jets are, to me, the most surprising because they started off, I won't say great, but they started off with some hope. Darnold looked like he knew what he was doing a little bit. It looked like he was going to be okay. And I realized he's a rookie. I didn't expect him to go 10-6 or anything like that. But at this point, I mean, yesterday they looked like they just didn't want to play. And watching that game yesterday, it very much looked like a team that said, our coach is getting fired. There's no sense in trying. I'm gonna wait till the next guy comes in before I put in any work.
Yeah,
that's what it looked like yesterday. It was terrible.
Which, from the sounds of it, they're going to be doing a whole lot of that because he's not going to get fired. So I think after the season,
right? He's a Black Monday casualty for sure. Like 8:00 Monday morning, it'll be breaking news on ESPN that Bowles got fired. Right?
Or right after the game.
No, usually they wait till Monday. Usually they wait till Monday. I love Black Monday because I keep an ESPN page open and just see the breaking news update. Right. This guy got fired. This guy got fired. It's usually like 5 or 6 guys over the course of the day.
So let's go around it real quick. Todd Bowles fired?
Yeah, he's out.
Okay. What other coach? Miami coach? Bills coach? Sean McDermott and Gase?
McDermott will both of those guys I think will survive.
You think they'll survive? Okay.
Bill Belichick will survive.
You think so?
That's
I
guess
tough one.
We'll have to see how they do in the playoffs.
We'll skip the Browns because they already fired one, right? I'm just going through the bad. Doug Marrone, Jaguars?
He's gone.
You think he's gone?
Yeah. If they continue this hot dumpster fire that they are right now, yeah, he's gone. Look, when a team has that much talent and they play this bad and they've got a quarterback that they know is poor and they continue to rely upon them, that team is sold their coach out, and it's a clean house situation.
What about Denver? Vance Joseph?
No,
I think he's gone.
No, I think that's a build, and I think they'll give him one more year.
John Elway's a dummy. Chucky? You think Chucky's going anywhere? No, he's not going anywhere.
You know how much they paid Chucky?
A lot of money.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere. And it's the first year. Look. He's got to get used to being out
I'll
on the
give
field.
him this. He's working on the rebuild. As many picks as he's gotten.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They're gonna wait and give him a chance to use some of those picks and see what he can do.
So it's not this year, after this season that they're going to Vegas. It's after next season. So in 2020. Right. So
and I think
he's going to have a chance to.
And I think there's a little bit of that too. That I think that organization is in flux, and they want to wait and see how things shake out, and moving on to Vegas. And
God, Vegas is going to be a madhouse with the Raiders there, just because it's the Raiders. It's so close to Oakland. It's fairly close.
I mean, but I mean. It doesn't have to be close to Oakland for there to be a lot of Raider fans. I mean, there are Raider fans everywhere.
I mean, it'd be different if they opened up, on the East Coast or something. If
there'd be a shit ton of Raider fans there.
Right, yeah. But
the Raiders are one of those iconic franchises that have fans everywhere.
Yeah.
Like the Steelers. If you relocated the Steelers to Southern California, they'd still have a tremendous fan base.
There's a bunch down here in Texas.
Yeah, I mean, when the Steelers come here, half the stadium is Steeler fans. Yeah. Same thing with the Chiefs, for crying out loud.
I know, right?
It's amazing.
That's before this year.
Yeah, it's amazing. And then, when other teams come down here, they're giving tickets away, right? Like the Jaguars seriously. And the Jets and things like Colts.
So what about in the AFC? Looks like the Cowboys are exactly what you have been saying.
Yeah, I mean,
so next week
they played. I just don't understand. I don't understand. Maybe I just don't know enough football. It is painfully obvious that if they give Elliott the ball, they win. If they don't give Elliott the ball, they score 10 points and lose. I don't understand why there's not more emphasis on getting him the ball. And you don't have to run it every time. He's great in the flat. Amari Cooper is going to help that offense.
Do you know how many yards he had against the Titans in the first half last week? He had like 60. No, he had like 65 yards. I mean,
and then they didn't use him.
And then they didn't use him in the second half.
I don't understand.
It's not like they were in a passing mode.
Yeah, and it's not like they're the Saints. When the Saints
Right.
stop using Kamara, everybody else gets a whole bunch of yards.
Mm-hmm.
When the Cowboys stop using Elliott, sputter.
Yeah, that's another coach that got to go, man.
He's
red hair stepchild.
He is not going to get fired.
I think this is it.
The Cowboys are going to go 8-8, and he's not going to get canned. Watch.
No, I think this is it.
Unless the Cowboys melt to 6-10, watch.
I hope they keep him just so they can keep sucking.
Obviously, Shermer's not going anywhere. Oh, what a thriller we have on Monday night, huh?
Oh yeah, that should be a 6-3 game.
The Giants and the Niners.
We know what they were thinking when the schedule came out, right? Jimmy G and
Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
Odell.
I guess you can see that.
Yeah, but
That's a rough game to watch.
That's going to be a rough game to watch.
The only way to watch this game is to put down a wager.
Either that or put down a fifth of hard liquor and pass out.
Extra hard.
Yeah.
Make that a double.
Jeez. The Redskins are still surprising.
Yeah.
I keep expecting them. I thought they were going to be the worst team in the division.
They're 2 games up on
on the Eagles and the Cowboys. The Eagles
the Cowboys. The Cowboys are in second place.
Oh my goodness.
The Eagles got a bunch of defensive.
What is going on with the Eagles?
They got a lot of injuries. Just
guess.
yesterday's game.
I guess, but they won a lot of close games last year, and that just doesn't happen over and over again unless you are a quality franchise. And year before last, they had a losing record in close games. Right? Games that turned by 1 score. Last year, they had a great record. This year, back to a crappy record in those close games. They're just not quite there, and I don't understand what's going on. Talent-wise, I'm still convinced that that's the best team in the NFC East.
I don't know. The hunger's not there anymore, man. It's. I mean, I'm not saying that's the sole reason, but it's just not.
That's pathetic. You've
and
only
football,
won once.
you know what it is too, man. You got to look at it this way: the defenses that were good last year are not going to be good or are not as good this year, and I think that has to do with the rule changes. It has to have some type of effect on the defenses playing a different way. The Eagles had a decent defense last year. But
their defense hasn't really been the problem this year. You stop and think about it. The Titans are now like even more impressed, right? Because they beat Dallas, they beat the Eagles, they beat the Patriots. They're winning a lot of big games. They shit the bed over in London against the Chargers, but the Chargers are a really good football team. They're starting to look. As you break it down, they're starting to look tougher and tougher.
Yeah.
Back to the NFC. The Bears.
The Bears.
Looking like beasts, man.
Well, their defense is top notch.
Khalil Mack is
and freaking Trubisky's all of a sudden looking like a 10-year vet.
Is there anything scarier than seeing Khalil Mack on a pass rush? If you're the opposing team?
He looks untouched.
He looks like he's going to get to the quarterback every time. He never looks like he's blocked. Even when the guy is square in front of him, he looks like he's going to get by him. It's freaky.
Did the Bears give up like 2 first-rounders for him? I think so, right? This year and next year?
I don't think it was 2 first-rounders. I didn't think so.
Well, it should have been like...
It's well worth it.
4 first-rounders.
It's well worth it, man. No, I don't think they gave up that much because that was one of the big criticisms to the Raiders, right?
No.
They gave him away for kind of nothing or for not enough. But he looks... looks... I'm gonna say this, and I don't mean it, but he almost looks Lawrence Taylor scary.
Yeah,
he's not Lawrence Taylor because that would be blasphemy, right? No one is Lawrence Taylor, but he is that kind of scary though. It's just he is just all over the place. And when he's coming for the quarterback, he's coming. It doesn't matter how. It doesn't matter if it's a 5-step drop, 7-step drop. It doesn't matter if you double team him. It doesn't matter if you put him on the right side, the left side. If he's coming, he's coming.
I think his ability to get to the quarterback is much like Lawrence Taylor, but we won't see him as we did Lawrence Taylor because of the rule changes.
Well, yeah, that's true. He can't be breaking people's.
You can't be doing that.
He can't be snapping people's legs.
He can't put his weight on the quarterback.
Yeah, no. Or use two hands and stuff. That would be ridiculous. No.
But yeah, he is looking scary.
I guess, come to think of it, when you say it that way, we're never going to see anyone as scary as Lawrence. Because part of the fear of Lawrence Taylor was not just that he was going to get to you, he was going to hurt you.
Right.
I mean, he was...
Joe Theismann?
But even aside from Joe Theismann,
I know.
You knew he was coming. He was a problem. I mean, he was going to hurt you. He knocked guys out. He knocked Joe Montana out of a game. By the way, that's a jersey I would wear. Even the Chiefs one.
With the J dot.
Oh, no, not that one. Only if it says just Montana. He knocked quarterbacks out of games. I mean, half the fear of Lawrence Taylor was that you were going to have to go to your backup.
He was scary.
He was a...
And I started watching football towards like his tail end of his.
You know what I
career.
love to watch? I love watching those NFL films pieces where he's mic'd up. Oh my goodness!
Scary cat.
Like if I had heard that stuff on the field, I'd be like, "Coach, I need a sub. I got to get out of here." If I was the quarterback, I'd be like, "Oh, I sprained my fingernail. I can't throw."
Do we have enough diapers in this locker room?
You're looking mighty padded up there.
Because lining up alone is a scary
Can you imagine?
thought. I mean, he did it from his rookie year on, man.
He changed the game. I mean, he really did change the game.
And who else? I mean, the Vikings don't look as dominant as we thought they were going to look.
But I still think they're really good. And
they're good.
I think it's going to come down to them and the Bears.
Okay, please don't say the Packers.
But the Packers are going to be close.
No. The Packers are not that good.
Look what they did yesterday. What did I tell you?
They played. We already confirmed that anyone playing the AFC East besides the Patriots.
Right, but that's my point. Like you're looking at their last few games and you say, "Oh, they lost to the Rams, but it was a close game. They lost to the Patriots. It was a decent game." Their schedule's going to even out, and they're going to get some of those crappy teams in there. Like they're going to get to play the Lions, right? So
right, but
they're going to be okay. They're going to win most of their games.
But I don't think enough to make the playoffs. And if you do make the playoffs, exactly what you just stated. You play teams like the Rams and the Patriots, you can't win. You play teams like the Bills and the Dolphins, then you can win.
Hold on. So only one team's going to make it out of the NFC East. Right?
Okay.
Only one team's going to make it out of the West.
Okay. Two teams out of the South.
So you've got 2, maybe 3, because the Falcons may get there. I don't know.
I thought the same thing, but when you shit the bed against the Browns and you're playing a crucial game like that, seriously, you can't lose that game.
Well, they've been Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde all year.
Yeah, but you're playing to a playoff spot. To sneak in there and you lose a game like that, that's no.
Yeah, I mean, but they're a half a game behind. They're only a half a game behind the Packers. So it's going to be the Bears. How many? Well, I guess
The Packers are not good, bro.
I guess.
Stop.
No. I guess they're not going to make it then because I think it's going to be Bears and Vikings, and the Packers would have to beat out the Panthers to get that last one.
Yeah,
and that's not going to happen. They'd have to beat out the Panthers or the Saints if they collapsed.
They're just not that good.
They're a little bit better than 500, but not quite good enough to make the playoffs, I think.
They're
going to be 8-7-1.
8-7-1.
Maybe 9-6-1.
You think they'll win 4 games? I bet they don't win more than 2 more games. I bet they don't come out. They'll go 6
out of their last 7.
Yeah,
dude. There's got to be a game in there where they play the Lions. That's a win.
Dude, the Lions are going to be airing the ball out because they're playing from behind the whole time.
Yeah, that makes it all the better because Stafford looks terrible.
Let's see. They got the
Who they have
Seahawks, winnable.
Winnable.
Vikings,
Loss.
Cardinals,
Win.
Falcons,
We'll go 50-50. They could win it, so let's win a bowl.
Bears,
Loss.
Jets,
Win.
Lions.
Win. So they've got they've got 5 winnable games.
Right.
Well, they've got 3 wins for sure in there.
Yeah.
And then 2. Let's split those. That's 4 wins. That's 8-7-1. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't think he'll. I don't think they'll. They're just not that good to me.
I think that we're a little bit clouded by their games against the Rams and they've got the greatest quarterback ever.
Whoa!
Hey, that's not me. That's ESPN.
Pump your brakes, Ed.
Hey, you heard what it was like that week they played the Patriots.
Oh God!
It was Aaron Rodgers is the greatest quarterback in the history of man and forevermore.
I loved the commercial from Jordan because I seriously, in the deep of my deepest gut, believed that LeBron thought Jordan was talking about him.
I don't know what commercial this is.
Oh, what?
Is it new?
Yeah, it was right before the. It was the week before they showed it. They showed it during the Patriots Chiefs game. I
almost
think.
missed it. What happened?
Oh well, you know he was hype. It was the actual GOAT hyping up the 212s playing on Sunday night and this and that.
And LeBron thought it was about him.
I guarantee he did. He probably said, "Oh man, we're gonna have Mickelson Woods Part 2, Jordan and LeBron 1-on-1."
So basically, the NFC is pretty much wrapped up. It's just a matter of where people will land.
Yeah, I think that.
I think the Redskins. I still think the Eagles are the best team in the East, but I'm just not. I'm losing confidence that they're going to catch the Redskins. They're 2 games behind now, and in the NFC North, I think those 2 teams are gonna. I think they're gonna battle it out. Bears and Vikings. In the South, you've got Carolina and the Saints.
I'll tell you right now.
West, it's the Rams.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't see the Packers.
The only possible movement is if Atlanta gets hot and the Panthers go cold. But I don't. Or the Eagles and Redskins could flip flop because I just can't believe that the Eagles are going to go from Super Bowl champs to 8-8 and not make the playoffs in one of the worst divisions in the NFL. How is that possible?
I don't know, but I think at this point, there's gonna be one team in the AFC or NFC, just one team that makes that run. Everybody else,
the Browns,
their record is what their record is.
Well, yeah, their record is.
It is what it is. Don't you hate that saying? It is what it is.
No, I like it. I use it all the time.
I don't. I hate the saying. I know I just said it, but I hate the saying I just said.
I say it all the time.
No.
It is what it is.
Well, no shit, Nelly.
Call me Captain Obvious. Should change my Twitter handle to Captain Obvious.
So, yeah.
So that's enough NFL for one day. Hey, what did you think about the Chiefs receiver who got the penalty for who filmed his own penalty?
I didn't see that. I actually watched No Football yesterday.
I don't remember which receiver it was from the Chiefs. Scored a touchdown, jumped up into the stands, got behind the camera, and of course once you have the camera, that's a prop.
Right.
He got flagged, so you can see the flag go flying in the air, and he's filming it.
Wow. So you think the ref did that on purpose? Threw the flag right in front of the camera?
No, I think it's just where he was standing. Yeah. Saw that he went and played with a prop. Flagged him.
That's so lame.
The penalty or the prop?
The penalty. It's the rule, right?
The rule is the rule.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. That's what I'm saying.
We're not using that anymore on this show.
Speaking of it is what it is.
Yeah? Hit me, baby.
Jimmy Butler is on the Sixers. It is what it is. He is on the Sixers. Hey, let's start right at the top. Does that trade make the Sixers the team to beat in the East?
No, it does not. No, they have no bench.
You know, the Celtics...
They have no bench.
The Celtics have not been as dominant as I thought they would be. They're trying to mesh it all together.
I think that's everybody.
The Raptors kind of the same thing, although I think they're
The
doing well.
Raptors are doing
right?
well. I think they are 9-1, 10-1.
Yeah, it's got to be more than that.
And Lowry is playing better with Kawhi Leonard.
Than he was with DeMar.
And Serge Ibaka is looking like rejuvenated. I don't know, like he just took some magic pills. But no, I don't think that Jimmy Butler puts the Sixers over the top. Only the 76ers weren't their bench. I don't think was that good before the Butler trade, and I think they gave up a couple key pieces. I don't know. I mean, you have to wonder how Butler's gonna fit in the locker room. I think that's the biggest question
That is
at
the
this
problem.
point, because
Well-
now Butler's looking a little bit like a head case. You don't know what you're gonna get out of him. You don't know when he's gonna want to play. What if the 76ers are, what if they fall and are out of it, or he gets tired later in the season and doesn't want to play in a key game?
Yeah,
I mean, we've already seen Kawhi Leonard take off a couple games, right? In a key matchup against the Bucks. I don't know how key it is. It was maybe like the fourth game, but still, right?
Right.
You're,
It's
reser-
early,
you're,
you
reser-
wanna-
you're reserving for that max contract so you don't get hurt.
Yeah. Look, one time it could be the situation.
Yeah.
2 times it's the player. He worked his way out of Chicago, landed in Minnesota. He has now worked his way out of Minnesota. I think he's the problem, and it's very worrisome to have a head case on a team that's that young and has not been through the fire, right? It's hard to bring a head case in when you've got Fultz, who's still trying to find his way. Ben Simmons, who's not the most experienced guy in the world. Same thing with Embiid. It's worrisome. It is worrisome. I agree with you. I still don't think they're the team to beat. I still think it's going to be the Celtics in the long run, but if it works, man, that team is going to be lights out.
The Celtics?
The Sixers.
Oh, the Sixers.
If it works.
Yeah.
And it may be one of those things where it works for a year and then doesn't work again, right?
Right.
Kind of like the White Sox in baseball. Ozzie Guillen, they had that one monster year and never heard from him again.
Hasn't worked in 13 years.
Yeah, it hasn't worked since, right?
Do you think the Celtics have too many pieces?
That's kind of the concern. That's the concern is, they've got, I won't say an all-star starting 5, but man, pretty close. They've got a lot of good pieces. They don't have a true big 3, but man, they've got a solid 5 or 6. They've got a solid rotation, and those guys all want to get their minutes. They all want to get their touches. They all want to get their shots. It's hard to adjust. And the problem, too, I think is, and this is, I don't want this to sound like a criticism because I love Kyrie Irving, but
I knew it.
But Kyrie Irving is not a true blue point guard, get everyone involved.
No.
He's the kind of guy that can take over a game himself. And when you have that much talent on the court, it's hard to do that. You gotta be more of a distributor, I think. And that might be part of the problem with that team.
I think that's
I
why.
hope not.
I think it is. And I think that's why you ship him and you keep Terry Rozier, and he can distribute the ball. I mean, you already got tons of scorers,
Yeah,
man.
but Rozier's a head case waiting to happen.
Not if you give him playing time.
You think?
Yeah.
You think minutes cures that?
Yes, and a nice contract, of course.
No, yeah.
But I mean, look at it, man. You got Jaylen Brown, you got Tatum, who has proven he can score. He can be the go-to guy, and you still have another player that demands the ball, Gordon Hayward.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's a little tricky.
Yeah, I don't look, I'm not gonna pretend I know what the solution is, but it looks very, very difficult. Something's got to get readjusted in Boston.
And I mean, the rest of the East is pretty much mediocre.
Well, I think
No?
I think it's a 4-team race. This is a perfect year in the East to not have the first round of the playoffs because I don't
Right.
give a shit who makes 5, 6, 7, and 8. It's going to come down to Philadelphia, Boston, Toronto, and Milwaukee. Indiana might have a little something to say, but I'm not holding my breath. I'm not holding my breath. So it really boils down to those 4 teams. Let's do away with the first round.
I think the first round should be 5 games. Let's go back to the best out of 5.
I think the first round should be 8 teams.
Yeah, no, I don't mind. I don't mind
the top 4 in each conference. I think the first round should be the conference semifinals.
Nah.
The first round of the NBA playoffs is a waste of time.
Right, and that's why you shorten it up. You make it best out of 5.
That's what I'm suggesting. You shorten it up to 0.
No.
You look at the records and you say, "Yep, you 4 are eliminated." Oh, you happen to be 5, 6, 7, and 8. Goodbye. Have a nice day.
No. We want more basketball. We just want less basketball. Is that possible? How does that work?
Yeah, I am in complete agreement that we should shorten it. Completely agree that we should shorten the first round to 0 games.
Now, who will have less basketball will be Melo pretty soon.
Oh yeah,
I think he's done.
Gone. Yeah, and if he's
look in all honesty, okay, you can't blame Melo all the way for the Rockets starting off the way they have. Chris Paul and James Harden haven't played that well. They finally got their first home win last night, I think, against the Blazers, maybe, or
Pacers, I thought.
Okay, or Thunder, or Bucks,
or a basketball team from the NBA.
But so I mean, they haven't played exactly well. So I don't put all of the blame on Melo, and the team is just not that good.
I don't put the Rockets' woes on Melo, but I put the terrible basketball play on Melo, and also, part of the terrible Melo basketball play is D'Antoni starting him, and part of him starting him is because you didn't do your job in the offseason. You didn't re-sign Ariza, right?
No.
So you created this problem where you brought Melo in. Look, I hate to give you props, but you had it right. You had it right. Melo, sign on and be a 6th man. And you will win the 6th Man of the Year award. You'll get a nice contract, and you can ride off into the sunset as a basketball hero as opposed to getting waived 15 games into the season, which looks like is what's going to happen. So the Rockets have made a mistake in how they're using him, partially because of their shortfall of negotiating properly in the offseason. I don't know what they were doing. I guess they thought because it's the offseason, no one moves, and everyone's just going to come back and sing Kumbaya. It doesn't work that way. You got to re-sign players, and they just didn't do it for some reason. They re-signed Melo, they signed Melo, which is a terrible idea, and now they it kind of forced their hand to put Melo in the game more often, and Melo's just not that guy. Look, I didn't understand the Melo signing. I disagreed with you as a 6th man because here's the thing: the Rockets are a team they were already a team with defensive liabilities.
Yeah.
So even as a 6th man, you can't put in another defensive liability. That doesn't work. And you can't have a team of guys, 2 of which require the ball, and add another guy that requires the ball. It's just, I just didn't understand. It never made sense to me.
I'm going to call you Bobblehead Ed. Because the way you move your head, I just need the snap of the fingers and talk to the hand from you.
No, I don't do that. That sounds childish.
Look, man, Melo in his prime wasn't even that great. He really wasn't.
No, he really wasn't.
And I mean, this Rockets team, they really could have just brought everybody back together because conference finals was the closest you were going to get with this team. Okay? Now, you didn't bring back some key pieces, and I'm sorry, but Harden is not going to win you a championship. He is not the answer. He's a one-trick pony, always has been, always will be.
I don't think they were going to win 65 games again, but I thought that they could, if they'd have brought back the exact team from last season, I think they could have made a run and been a 1, a 2, a 3 seed and possibly made a run at the conference finals and maybe the NBA finals. But they let some key pieces go And apparently they didn't think they were key, or they thought they were going to replace those key pieces with Melo, and that was just a severe miscalculation on their part.
I mean, we already seen D'Antoni and Melo work out that marriage one time.
Yeah, that's the other thing too, right? So you go out.
They both don't preach defense.
I know. It was such a bad idea in so many ways, right? You brought in a defensive liability to a team that's not very good defensively. You brought in a guy who requires the ball in minutes into a team that already had two guys that require the ball in minutes. And you brought in a guy who's already had a fractured relationship with this. I mean, at what in this whole process made you think, I bet you Melo would work? Like, I would love to hear how they thought Melo was going to fit into the framework of the Rockets and make it a better team than last year, or even the same team as last year. If bringing Melo in would have made them a 65-win team again, I'd have been all for it. But I just never saw it.
Well, the NBA has turned into a my buddy league. And, that's probably what it was more about than,
I don't know.
They thought Melo's buddies and banana boat partners can...
I thought it was a terrible idea.
Who else in the West? The Warriors. The Warriors got beat by the Bucks earlier last week, but that was without Draymond Green.
Yeah, big deal.
Think so?
Big deal.
No? You don't think that's a big deal?
No. The Lakers are
Curry's hurt?
I don't think it's a big deal. The Warriors, once they get all the pieces back, they'll be fine. The Lakers are 7-6. Right? What does that work out to, roughly? 44 wins?
I don't know. You're the math major.
Their over-under number was 47. I said under. We'll see.
Well, if LeBron keeps missing free throws at the end of the game...
I wonder if they're going to sign Melo.
Well, there's been talks about that.
What a terrible idea that is.
That or Miami.
Melo really needs to just ride off into the sunset. Yeah.
It's not much of a sunset, but yeah, I get it.
I mean, he's made a good chunk of money. He's famous. He's very highly regarded overall.
Pride and ego won't do it, man. I think he should become a defensive coach in the NBA.
That will be a short-lived job. Yeah, no, he's just.
So you think the Lakers are going to keep this pace up? I mean,
I think
they've won 6 out of 7. I think.
Yeah, but they lost. 5 out of 7 before that.
Right, but yeah, right, but they're playing better now than they started off.
Yeah, but I still don't. I mean, it's LeBron and not much. There's not much around. I'm not sold on what's around him.
What do you mean? They went and got Tyson Chandler, a good backup for McGee, and then they have some pieces that are decent enough to contribute and play. I mean, they're playing well.
Yes. They have some pieces. They have pieces that will contribute. They will win some games. I predict they will win about 41 games. That makes them a 500 team. I think
that might be enough to make the playoffs in the West.
No, not in the West.
This year, yeah.
Not in the West.
Dude, there's 4 brand new teams in the West in the play. Look at the standings.
Yeah, no, it's the West is still considerably better than the East.
They have the 8th spot right now, bro.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2.
Ed doesn't do his homework. They have the 8th spot.
No, they don't.
Yes,
they have
they
the 9th
do.
spot.
No, they don't.
1, 2, 3, 5.
Oh my lord.
Oh no, you're right. They have the 8th spot.
Jeez, Louise. It is what it is. They're an AC team.
They totally need to shorten the first round of the playoffs to 0 games.
No, bro, then you don't have LeBron in there. Could you imagine playoffs, the NBA without LeBron?
Dude, can you imagine how much they're going to pump the first round of the playoffs if it's the Warriors and the Lakers for us to get 4 games of complete garbage?
Oh, it won't be garbage, bro. It won't be garbage. That's going 9. Oh. That's going 9 games.
I'm sure it'll be highly competitive.
It will be.
Every game will be over like halfway through the third quarter.
Have you seen LeBron's hair? I think the sweat makes the dot. That's no
longer a headband he's wearing. That's a bandana.
Dude, he just needs to put on a skull cap.
He needs to just shave it off.
Nah, he doesn't want to, bro.
I know, I get that, but he should.
he wants to, be different than the other two.
He should shave it off.
He should.
He really should. All right, let's wrap this puppy up. Episode 46.
I gotta take a shit.
That's why we gotta wrap this up. Because you're not dropping that in my house. You're getting the fuck out of here, bro. You ain't gotta leave, but you gotta get the hell out of here.
I seen your reading material. It's not worthy of a deuce.
That's why I keep it that way. I don't want you in there. Hey, so episode 46. This is a tough one. It took me a while.
I have no freaking clue of any number 46.
None? I racked my brain this morning.
I didn't.
And I only came up with one.
You know why?
And I really like the guy, but he's not like.
You know why?
Why?
Because you looked.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you.
I didn't.
I can't.
I got it. I got it because he's one of my favorite guys, and he plays on a team I like.
46. I have no idea. I don't have.
Andy Pettit.
Andy Pettit. Holy cow.
That's the only 46 I could think of.
That's pretty good.
Now, next week when we have 47, I got some 47s. But
I may have one.
Yeah, I got a few.
Yeah, I can't think of not one 46.
But I can't think of another 46. The hold on. The Raiders had a tight end that wore 46, but I can't for the life of me remember what his name is. I just remember that when I was a kid, they had this oddball tight end that wore 46.
Yeah.
But I don't remember his name. Andy Pettit is the only one.
That's a good one.
Todd Christensen.
Who the hell is that?
He also he had the big he had the big old perm in the 80s and the big old mustache.
Baseball player?
Football. He was the tight end for the Raiders.
Oh.
He even commentated he had guest commentating spots on American Stars and stuff like that. Kind of like an old version of American Ninja Warriors. Or American Gladiators or something like that. Andy Pettit.
You did twice as good as I did.
I got lucky, man. You got a shout out?
I don't even have a shout out.
Why did we bring you to the end of the show?
I don't know. My shout outs are very, unique and they're special. I don't have one every week.
It is what it is.
Ta-da!
My shout out is a bit of a cop out, but one that I think we should mention. My shout out goes to yesterday was Veterans Day. It was our cousin's birthday, Jay. Jay, we love you. The shout out doesn't go to you, sorry. Shout out to all the veterans that have served our country. It is absolutely our pleasure to do this show every week and talk sports and whatnot with you guys and interact with you on Twitter and all that other stuff. And, we get to do that basically for the freedom that was fought for by all of our veterans. And, Veterans Day to me is always a very special day. We have some veterans in our family and, I love and respect all of you. Happy Veterans Day to everyone. Hope you all had a great day. And my shout out goes out to all of those men and women that have served our country and given us this wonderful place to live. So
True that. True that.
And with that, we've come to the end of another wonderful episode 46 of the Positive Sports Podcast. If you want to reach out to the show, you can do so emailing the show at positivesports10@gmail.com. positivesports10@gmail.com. If you want to get a hold of this guy, how do you do it? You better tell him twice because it's a new thing.
Don't be a leader, be a follower on Twitter. Brooklyn Gaucho 8. That's right. New Twitter handle. I was in Twitter jail for a little bit.
But he's been released.
I got released with
a new name.
Yeah,
life.
Without my real Twitter handle. But it's Brooklyn Gaucho 8.
It's close.
So reach out to me on Twitter and we can connect.
That's right. And if you want to get a hold of me, you can do so on Twitter as well at eMontana21. Like I said, the end of another wonderful episode. It is what it is. Just another rocking episode. As always, folks, ignore the negativity. Be the positivity.
Peace.